Hi, Michelle here, RV Hero Gypsy, and I wanted to address a question that I get often, and that is how do I work as the CEO of an online company while I'm traveling the country? So I decided to make this video to show you all the details of how I work. Most of you know that I stay overnight in police departments and fire departments and many Walmart parking lots. I stay at rest areas, and I also stay in my realtor's driveways. I stay in my loan officer's driveways. I've been invited to um, come into their homes at times, which is more challenging for me because then I have to bring all my dog stuff in. So I prefer to actually stay in the RV. So, with that said, around the country, traveling in this way with this rock star tour that I do all the time, it's very challenging. So far, every day while I was out on the road for those 9,000 miles, it was over 95 degrees every day, and I can't stand running my generator. So I'm going to show you what I do to run my company without a generator. So this is my home office for Hero Some Advantage, and I have my laptop, and what I want to show you is how I actually set up my power if I'm not running the generator. So what I use, I have a 400 watt inverter. Right now, I'm just hooked up to a 120 watt inverter, which goes right into my cigarette lighter. And when I'm running my cell phone and any of my devices, I'll hook it up to my 400 watt inverter. And then I have all of these chargers. Sometimes I do get overloaded, but I have a charger for this, I have a charger for that, and I usually have at least 4 or 5 devices charging at the same time, because as I'm traveling, my house battery will charge, and I understand the battery in the truck will also charge. I don't know. I don't know a whole lot about this stuff. I just get in the darn thing and drive it and live in it. But it's very important that I stay hooked up. I use a jetpack for extra storage and data and Wi-Fi, and then I have a hotspot on my phone. But the problem is when I'm doing these type of videos for any length of time, it really takes all of that data. So I have to be very careful. Very rarely do I stop at a Walmart or McDonald's where you can actually get Wi-Fi. I just don't have the time for it anyway. But to try to find some place that has Wi-Fi, pull up into their parking lot, go into their store. If any of you have suggestions, I would really like it. I have figured this out as my only source right now. There are times when I may be in the mountains, I may be in the desert, I may be in some far off land and can't get a signal. That's a real problem. There's been times when I've tried to do these videos and I absolutely can get no Wi-Fi. So I have to come down the mountain or come out from wherever I am and still try to work, because as most of you know, my work is my whole life passion, so it's important that I stay working. So here's my website. It's myherosomeadvantage.com. Oh, there's, and so I just work on it all day long. What I normally do, I have my staff across the country. My staff all work remotely. So Tiffany, thank you so much. Tiffany's in the state of Florida. And then I have my director, Michelle. She's in North Carolina. And I have another director, TJ, and he's in Washington. And they can all work remotely. And then I have Melissa, who's in Georgia. So I stay in touch with my staff on a daily basis. And this is how I'm able to actually work while I'm on the road. I've gone more than, at this point, 21,000 miles around the country. thanking heroes and meeting my realtors and my loan officers and my home inspectors and title companies. They're doing all kinds of events. And now the next leg of my tour is I'm going to be traveling across the country, stopping at real estate offices and lending institutions to see if I can get some more realtors and loan officers on board to give 25% of their commission, and the loan officers give a $500 credit. And this is how we are paying it forward to America's Heroes. I'm going to start doing some videos as I travel as to some of the things that we deal with living on the road. I'm solo. I do travel with my little dog Shellis, and it can be very challenging at times living in driveways and in parking lots. And when I say living, I just mean overnight. Once in a while I'm lucky enough to stop for a night or two. Occasionally I'll stop at a campground, but most of the time I'm on the road. I'm not like a typical full-time RVer where I might be boondocking 2 weeks here, 2 weeks there, and then going on to another destination or staying in a campground. So it's very important that I can stay connected. I need to always make sure that I have my water tanks. I have to empty the water tanks. You all know that, to me, that's the worst thing in the world to have to do. Usually it's at a truck stop with all the truckers watching me, and but that's a story for another time. I don't want to get too far away from what I'm actually speaking about today. So it is very, very critical that I have a Wi-Fi connection, and sometimes I'll stop in a parking lot. I'm actually at I don't know if you can see it, I'm at the Gates supermarket because I needed to stop to make this video and do a little bit of work. So this is how I work. So if I'm traveling, I might be